안녕하세요. 쿠키코리아입니다. 오늘도 비즈니스 한국어와 에티켓에 대해 차근차근 알아볼까요? Sometimes we agree with someone's opinion, idea, or argument. Unlike when Koreans turn someone down, agreeing with someone is often more direct and to the point. In another video, I talked about how to say no in Korean. If you're curious about it, check out the description box below. Today, let's learn some Korean expressions for logical and emotional agreement. I've broken them into two categories to make it easier to understand. I'll share some expressions that I currently use at work. No worries, it's Cookie Korea. Just enjoy the bite-sized Korean. Type 1. Logical agreement. These phrases are used when you acknowledge that someone's opinion or argument makes sense and is logically valid. The first expression is 좋은 생각 같아요. 좋은 생각 같아요. It seems like a good idea. This is a soft and humble way to agree with someone's idea. It expresses not just agreement, but also a hint of praise, making it feel a bit emotional. This expression is suitable for semi-formal and casual conversations with colleagues, friends, family, or even superiors when you want to sound polite but not overly formal. Its examples are like your friend suggests a trip to the beach and you agree. Then you could say, 좋은 생각 같아요. Your boss suggests donating the year-end party budget to charity, and you totally agree. Then you could say, 좋은 생각 같아요. Or your colleague suggests an improvement idea for the team project. After reviewing it, you think it's effective. Then you could say, 좋은 생각 같아요. The second expression is 같은 생각입니다. 같은 생각입니다. I have the same idea. This expression emphasizes that you share the same opinion. Compared to the previous phrase, 좋은 생각 같아요, this one sounds more certain and formal. It's often used in professional or formal settings like meetings or official discussions, especially with colleagues, superiors, or in a public setting. Its examples are like, in a meeting, your colleague suggests a cost-saving proposal and you want to show your support. Then you could say, 같은 생각입니다. In a job preparation group, someone says, having a good photo on your resume is really important in Korea. And you agree based on your own experience. Then you could say, 같은 생각입니다. Or your team is deciding on dinner and your boss suggests having 삼겹살 today. You're totally up for it. Then you could say, 같은 생각입니다. The third one is 동의합니다. 동의합니다. I agree. The meaning of this phrase is similar to the previous one, 같은 생각입니다. But it's more formal and objective. 동의합니다 conveys that you have been persuaded by the other person's opinion or have logically accepted it, depending on the context. It's commonly used in highly formal or official settings and is suitable for professional discussions or addressing an audience. Its examples are like, in an important meeting, you want to clearly express agreement with someone's proposal. Then you could say, 동의합니다. In a general assembly, if you're asked about your stance on a proposed revision and agree with it, then you could say, 동의합니다. Or during a team discussion about workplace issues, if your manager suggests a resolution to improve fairness and you want to express your agreement, then you could say, 동의합니다. Type 2. Emotional agreement. These phrases are useful for expressing empathy, offering comfort, or agreeing with someone's feelings in a heartfelt way. The first expression is 저도 그래요. 저도 그래요. I feel the same way. This expression shows that you share the same feeling, experience, or situation. It's casual and works well in daily conversations with friends, family, or close colleagues when you want to express emotional relatability. Its examples are like, your colleague says, this project has been really stressful, and you feel the same way. Then you could say, 저도 그래요. Or your neighbor complains about the noise at night, and you've noticed it as well. Then you could say, 저도 그래요. Or your family member says, I really miss traveling these days, and you've been feeling the same way. Then you could say, 저도 그래요. The second expression is 그 마음 이해해요. 그 마음 이해해요. I understand that feeling. This is a more empathetic expression that acknowledges the other person's emotions. It's often used in semi-formal to formal situations or when comforting someone. It's perfect for offering emotional support. Its examples are like, your colleague says, I'm so nervous about the big presentation tomorrow, and you understand her anxiety. Then you could say, 그 마음 이해해요. Your classmate says, Korean pronunciation is so hard, especially the dear sound. And since you've struggled with that yourself, you totally understand how hard it is. Then you could say, 그 마음 이해해요. Or your friend says, long-distance relationships are so tough. And you can emphasize because you've been away from family. Then you could say, 그 마음 이해해요. Repetition is key to mastering it. Let's practice each phrase 3 times. I'll say first, then give you a moment to repeat it after me. 좋은 생각 같아요. 좋은 생각 같아요. 좋은 생각 같아요. 같은 생각입니다. 같은 생각입니다. 같은 생각입니다. 동의합니다. 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 저도 그래요. 저도 그래요. 저도 그래요. 그 마음 이해해요. 그 마음 이해해요. 그 마음 이해해요. 꿀팁. These phrases are great for adding humor or playfulness to your conversations, making them more engaging and lighthearted. However, it's best not to use them with someone older than you. The first expression is 두말하면 잔소리지. 두말하면 잔소리지. The literal translation of this expression is saying it twice would be nagging. And it actually means it goes without saying. This is a fun and casual way to strongly agree with something that's obvious or a shared sentiment. Use it in informal settings with friends or close colleagues to emphasize your agreement. Its examples are like your friends and you are planning a camping trip, and while preparing, one friend asks, "Should we grill some 삼겹살?" Then you could say, 두말하면 잔소리지. Or after a long week, your close colleague asks if you're excited about the weekend plans you've been talking about all week. Then you could say, 두말하면 잔소리지. Or your friend asks, will you keep in touch after you go back home? Then you could say, 두말하면 잔소리지. The second expression is 누가 아니래. 누가 아니래. This literally means who would say no, and actually means I know, right? This phrase is used to strongly agree and often expresses mutual understanding or shared frustration. It's casual and playful, perfect for conversations with friends, family, or close colleagues. Its examples are like in a crowded subway, Your friend says, the Seoul subway is so packed. It's hard to breathe. Then you could say, 누가 아니래. Or when choosing a late night snack, your roommate says, I'm worried about gaining weight if I eat now, but there are so many tasty options. Then you could say, 누가 아니래. Or watching a YouTuber casually eat extremely spicy ramen. Your friend says, that person must not even feel the spice. Then you could say, 누가 아니래. As a summary, listen to them at a native speed. 좋은 생각 같아요. 좋은 생각 같아요. 같은 생각입니다. 같은 생각입니다. 동의합니다. 동의합니다. 저도 그래요. 저도 그래요. 그 마음 이해해요. 그 마음 이해해요. 두말하면 잔소리지. 두말하면 잔소리지. 누가 아니래. 누가 아니래. 오늘은 여기까지. 시청해주셔서 고맙습니다. 안녕.